人生或职涯中的许多关卡，从来不是能力不足，而是天赋没有被运用在对的地方。我是 Sara 蔡佩静，欢迎收听人生战略方程式 CEO 优势领导学，陪你看懂天赋，读懂人心，一起把优势布局成决策力、影响力，让你的价值被世界看见。Welcome to Life Strategy Equation, CEO Strength Leadership. Today is a very special episode. I'm joined by Phil Berg, the leadership coach, mentor, and speaker, and also the co-author of Networking is a Marathon, not a Sprint. And I'm Sarah Tsai, the author of Life Strategy Equation, and also a coach, a strategist, and speaker, and a podcast host. And although Phil and my books are exploring different topics, but I believe we are asking the same question. How do we build a meaningful life through meaningful relationships? So Phil, welcome. Let's say hello to
Thank
our
you.
Miss
Thank you for
audience.
having me. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is well.
Yes, thank you, Phil. And I'd love to begin with your personal journey before we start the conversation. I am curious about what brought you to today's leadership position because we want to explore what you study, what your career path, and what brought you to become a leader today.
Great. Well, whilst I am a great believer of improvement, and I think most people have the need to improve, I'm not sure that I'm clever by saying this. I've never created the time to read too many books. I know they're available in audio, but I've always been a busy guy, and I've never really created enough time to develop myself even better. But what I've done along my own journey is I know that to get the best results, not just from myself, but as I started to build my businesses and as I started to have staff and have people working with me,
Yes.
I realized that I needed to be an even better leader so that I could get better results for everybody. So I'm very much self-taught. Part of me thinks that that's an advantage because it's just my opinion, but I'm very proud of being me. I never wanted to, for example, read a book and be somebody else or learn techniques that didn't make me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
However, I've watched speakers on stage and I think, oh, I like what you did there. And I've kind of brought that into my own style, my own personality. So I definitely learn by listening to other people, by watching other people. That's been my way of learning, but it started with the desire to learn. For me, if you don't have the desire to do something, then you'll never push yourself to do it. Even now, and I'm old now, I'm 64 years old, I still watch everything with the opportunity for me to become even better. So I'm probably a mixture of anyone and everyone, but I'm still Phil Berg, authentic Phil Berg, but I've obviously brought some things I've seen into my own style, but I always wanted to be me and not mimic somebody else.
Yeah, I think one thing you mentioned, just let me think that because you want you have staffs, you have employees, so that's your motivation and desire to become maybe a good leader or learn how to be a leader. So that's your motivation to become that role, and but you don't want to learn from book or learn from others. You learn from your experience, and you don't want to mimic with others, and you just want to be you. But of course, you will absorb some other people's experience, but you immerse that into yourself and become your own way to lead. Is that correct?
Absolutely. One slight difference. I wouldn't say I didn't want to read a book or didn't want to um, listen to something.
Uh,
I just didn't create enough time to do that, and I would I would learn from watching television. For example, as a speaker, which that's part of what I do, I would watch a comedian on television,
ah.
and my wife would laugh at the joke, and I didn't laugh. And my wife Jackie would say, "Did you not find that funny?" And my answer was, "I wasn't listening to the joke. I was
Mm.
watching his movement. I was
Mm.
watching his timing. I was watching his messaging." So I learn by just watching people on television, watching debates, how they get facilitated, how the audience are managed. That's the way I've personally, um, that's been my best way to learn, just to watch, see how people speak, see how they act. But I think in the development of leadership, my style in my early days, because I didn't know any different, I
Mhm.
was very much an attitude of lead by example,
Mhm.
which I still believe that, but
Yes.
my style was very much kind of, Sarah, come on, let's do this. And whereas I thought, let's just do this, my attitude was, Sarah, let's just do this. I used to get very frustrated that people would think, well, we don't want to do this. So
Yeah.
I didn't engage in conversation
Mm.
unintentionally. I was always a tell, let's do this.
Mm.
Instead of, as I've developed my leadership and communication skills, particularly communication skills, I've learned different ways of communicating
Mhm.
so that people want to do it instead of feeling like they must do it. And I think that's been my development of leadership for me personally.
Yeah, of course. I think that most leaders' journey, but because we don't know how to become a manager or a leader, so of course we think that others will think the same as we do, but uh, actually it's not. So we need to understand what other people think, and then we can
Very
communicate
much.
our thought together, and then provide them what they want to motivate them instead of telling them what to do. So I think everybody learns that. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think what I've learned, one of the biggest things I've ever learned is what people hear is completely different from what we think we are saying. So
what's
actually, we
that?
need to deliver our message in the way that the other person receives it best. That's been one of my biggest changes. What's the personality of this other person? What's their characteristic style? What's their behavioral style? How best will they receive the message so that they want to do whatever we want them to do? And
Yeah.
then it's much nicer, and results from my experience are better.
Yes, that's why I'm so passionate about being a strength coach right now, because strength is to identify everybody's strength. Strength is about what you thought, what you act, and what you think. So um, it's all different from different people. So I think knowing each other, if we know their personality, know their strengths, and it gets easier communication. So, but speak to the strengths. I want to share with you the Taiwanese top five strengths and the English top five strengths. Actually, we have two strengths in common. So, for Taiwanese strengths, the top five are, the top one is responsibility, and the top two
Okay.
is relator, and the third is empathy. The fourth is learner, and the fifth is harmony. And guess what? Your country, the first one is the relator, the second one in Taiwan, but you're the first one. So for
Interesting.
English and Taiwanese people, we all value transparent and deep relationship instead of those ooh person. Ooh is winning others over. It's also another talent, but however, that talent is more interested in knowing more people and get being attracted by other people. So it's very different. Relator is very shy and don't be talkative at the first time. But however, if the relationship moves on, the conversation or the relationship will go very very deep. That's the personality of the relator. And also for English people, the second one is achiever. So um, the English people is like to the achievement of the completion of every task. They like doing the checklist of complete, or or yes, they like things to be complete. And also, oh, the learner is also the top three of the English and the responsibility and strategic. So actually, we have three in common: relator,
Nice.
learner, and responsibility.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, I like that. And I didn't know those facts. So that's very interesting.
Yeah. So speaking about the personality, and one of the idea from your book is actually the theme of your book is networking is a marathon, not a sprint. So why do you think so many people still approach networking like a sprint instead of marathon?
Obviously, I don't have all the answers factually, but obviously, I have my opinions.
Mm,
It's a great question. And I'm wondering whether the question is similar to just life. Is life too fast? Is everything too quick? Before you were born, I mean, I'm old. Before you were born, we didn't have mobile phones. Yeah, we didn't
yes.
have instant communication. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's really interesting nowadays that people will phone you on your mobile phone,
Yeah.
and there's almost a little bit of anger
Mm-hmm.
if you don't answer the phone, if
Oh.
you're not available.
Mm,
And I think the expectation is seems very, very different. I think things are more instant. Perhaps people are mismanaging, and I think this is a very powerful quote. I genuinely think people mismanage expectations.
mm,
And when people, if you like, join networking groups or networking organizations, in fairness, I don't sometimes blame these people. They may be joining them for a quick result,
yes.
you know, get some more business as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. And many times I will actually blame the person that's accepted them into their organization,
Mm-hmm.
because in the desperation to have another networking member, if you like,
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes the expectations are possibly not explained. So, for example, you and I are very connected with a fantastic organization, BNI,
Yes.
and I'm very, very focused when I'm interviewing somebody that wishes to become part of BNI. I very much focus on explaining to them that referrals are available,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to have realistic expectations. People have got to want to help you, and then they have to know how to help you. But if we come before that, people will want to help you after they know you and like you. So I think people sometimes come in with, I'd like an introduction to this person, and they're expecting someone to say, here's the introduction. Well, I'm not necessarily blaming that person. I'm possibly blaming the person that didn't manage their expectations correctly. So explaining that this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a get rich scheme. I passionately believe that networking is a necessary strategy in business. I still network all over the world. However, there's a difference between networking and effective networking.
Yes.
Anyone can be busy, but there's a difference.
Yeah, I like your points very much because you said that due to the instant word, we all require instant feedback, instant results. So that's why we don't have the patience to wait and until the universe provide us the things we need. But I think yes, as you said, the major issue might be the mismanagement of our expectation because people want very quick. If we don't get quick feedback, then we might be a loser. Someone may think of them like that. So it's the expectation and misunderstanding of the human beings or the relationship or the referral stuffs. So I think people should really rethink how the relationship works or how the business world works because um, unless you buy FMCG products, you don't need to think. You just pay and get it.
Yes,
Uh,
yes,
Otherwise, you need to think every time, like buy a course, buy a book, or buy something. Requires thinking of if I need that or if
yes.
yes. So it takes time, but people are so impatient right now.
They are. I think in life, I think everything is much quicker and disappointed quicker, um, unrealistic expectation, which I may not blame the person, you know. I mean, the title of our book, you know, the networking is a marathon, not a sprint. It is
Yes.
not, it's not, yeah, it's not saying the real message isn't saying, hey, this will take forever. That's not the message. The message is saying that be realistic. It's not that the day you begin networking is the day you receive the referral of your dreams. You know, it
Actually,
takes
it's
time. You
impossible.
have to. Well, I've seen it happen. I have seen some coincidences. I remember many years ago at a BNI chapter meeting.
Hmm.
There was a gentleman that joined. He was a kitchen supplier, supplied and installed kitchens,
Hmm.
and the interior designer in the chapter, the week before this gentleman joined,
Uh-huh.
had a challenge with her. She had an order for 120 kitchens, a
Uh-huh.
huge order.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the kitchen supplier unfortunately had a bad illness and had to stop his business overnight.
Mm.
And the interior designer was in trouble because they had to supply 120 kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this gentleman just joined BNI only 1 week,
Uh-huh.
and she had to speak to him and said, I have an emergency. Can you help me with 120 kitchens?
And the miracle happened.
This guy got an order for huge money in the first like 2 or 3 weeks because she had an emergency. But that is an exception. The reality is people don't understand the need to develop and build relationships. And that
Yes.
can be frustrating because I am an outcome person. So that you've got to build the relationships. As I said before, one of my big messages, you have to build the relationships so that you can, if you like, excite people to want to help you. When people want to help you, you're then well and truly on your way. And then
Yes.
the book is really talking about how do you get people to help you. So once you have those two things, you will be receiving good quality referrals for as long as you wish.
Yes, and not only in the business world, we all have relationship like family, like co-workers, or like everything. So actually, great relationships still build over time, not overnight. So I think it is
Correct.
the right mindset that people should get instead of those instant receiving expectations.
I
Yeah.
think so as well. But it's such a great question. I just think life can be a little bit like that, unfortunately.
What do you mean?
But we just need quick results. And, life is very busy, life is very hectic. So, a lot of people, including myself, and I'm sure you, we don't really have time to waste. Very few people have the opportunity to just, enjoy the good weather, do some business, go and do everything they want. Very few people put themselves into that position.
Mm-hmm.
Life can be very survival, where
Mm-hmm.
we need to survive, we need to
Yeah.
survive. I
Yeah.
also think a lot of people don't believe they can have what they want. I experience this when I'm working with my clients. I do try and help them understand exactly what they want, and then I help them with a strategy to ensure they now can achieve. Whereas before, I think people don't believe they can have this. So they just exist instead of how can we make the best of this? Do I believe I can do it? So I think relationships and managing expectations are very, very important.
Yes, and that leads to my my theme of the book, Life Strategy Equation, because actually I'm the major thing I'm talking about is the mission of life and how can we live a life that we leverage our talent, we do our passion, and we bring our value to the world, and that is the meaningful life we want to pursue and also can be achieved. So I think that is very possible to to have everyone to have this complete
Why
this
not?
equation. Yes, so that's my true belief. So that your book also mentioned about a chapter about the relationship equation, and my book is about life strategy equation. So I'd love to explore how these two ideas connect, and so I want to have you a question that if you had to describe your own relationship equation, what would it be? Because my book described the equation of life strategy, and
Mhm.
networking is a marathon, not a sprint. One of the chapter is talking about the relationship equation. So I just
Yes.
want you to explain more to our audience that what is the relationship equation.
Perfect. Okay. So there is actually a
Mm,
formula about developing relationships. And
yes.
it's understanding that the more people in your sphere, if you contact sphere or power circle, it doesn't matter. The more people you know expands into the more people they know. So you're only as good as the connections of the people you know. Because it may not be the people you know that you're directly helping, but the people they know expands into a huge field of opportunity. So there is actually an official equation, and I don't necessarily say it in a mathematical or academic way, but I'll describe it.
Yes.
If you have four people, so
Mm,
imagine your viewers are putting four dots on a piece of paper.
yes.
With those four people, there are actually six relationships available, and I will explain how. So
Mm,
imagine each of them wanted a relationship with each of them. There
oh,
would be a potential six relationships, direct relationships.
uh-huh.
And how the equation works, let's just use the number four as an
Okay.
example.
Okay.
4 multiplied by 4 is 16, minus 4 is 12, divided by 2 equals 6. That's the actual formula. So in my layman's terms, it's number times number, multiplied number, minus number divided by 2.
Mm-hmm.
equals the relationship equation. So
Mm.
let me give three examples.
Okay.
4 times 4 is 16,
Yes.
minus 4 is 12,
Yes.
divided by 2 equals 6.
Yes.
So 4 people, 6 relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to, let's use the number 40. So it's
Mm-hmm.
multiplied by 10. Okay.
Yes.
40 times 40 is 1,600.
Yes.
Minus 40 is 1,560.
Yes.
Divided by 2 is 780.
Yes.
Okay? So let's compare the two. 4 people, 6 relationships.
Mm-hmm.
40 people, 780 relationships. So you've only multiplied your original number of connections by 10,
Mm-hmm.
but the multiplication of the result from 6 to 180 is from 6 to 780 is multiplied by like 130. So you've increased the number 4 people to 40, but it's 6 connections to 780 connections.
Some kind of compound effect.
It's totally a compound effect. So if you're belonging, using networking as an example, and
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get this number wrong. In fact, I'll use my calculator. Imagine, please, in your networking group, you
Uh-huh.
have 100 members.
Yes.
Okay, 100 members. So
Uh-huh.
100 times 100
Minus.
equals 10,000.
Yeah. And the.
Okay, minus 100
Uh-huh.
equals 9,900. So
Yes.
that's 4,950, I think.
Yes.
4,000, yeah, 4,950. So with
Mm.
100 people, you've got nearly
1,000
5,000
connections.
direct relationship connections. That's
Wow.
without their connections.
Wow. That's amazing.
Exactly. And that's why I would always encourage any networking group to understand that the more people in the room, the more opportunity for relationships. And the compound effect gets much bigger. The multiplication
Mm-hmm.
changes dramatically. With 50 people, I think for a minute it's 1,250.
Yeah.
1,250 with
Yeah.
50 people.
Yeah.
But with 100, we've just done it.
Wow.
It's nearly
5,000.
5,000.
Wow.
So although it's doubled the people, it quadrupled the direct relationships.
Yeah, and that's based on the meaningful relationship. So that is not a service relationship. That's why, like in BNI, we need to meet weekly, regularly to build up our trust and relationship. That's why these referrals that counts. That's not those people you only know. Those are not just contacts. Those
No.
are those people that with trust and can give you referrals that count.
Yes, I mean, I am a realist. I do believe in any group of people, whether it's in networking or socially, with any group of people, you are not going to directly resonate with all of them. So I
Mm,
do believe there's a percentage, but a percentage of 100 will still give you a lot more than a percentage of 20. Yes, so I am a realistic. When you have a group of people, you'll have some that they don't particularly take to you, you'll have some that don't know you, and you'll have lots that do want to help you and want to build those relationships with you.
yeah, that's a very impactful numbers for us. Only
Yeah.
100 meaningful relationship can create 5,000 people on the back. That's amazing. So we need to really cherish every contact we have to let them
Yes.
have the
Yes,
trust and have the willing to refer us.
yes, you do. And I think one of the key skills is, as I said, to be realistic. Not everybody you meet will connect with you, will be the same as you, will resonate with you. And I think a clever skill is to recognize this might sound mercenary, but a reality. Recognize where your strongest connections can
Mm,
be
mm,
and deepen those relationships. And where you feel the connection isn't so strong, it doesn't mean they'll never refer you, but don't stay with everybody because sometimes we're so busy going wide that we forget to go deep. I may be able to do enough business with 5 amazing contacts, but I have to build relationships with maybe 100 to find the 5.
yes, absolutely agree. And that's also the behavior for relators, both English people and Taiwanese people, because we value those deep relationships. So we actually everybody don't have that much time to go for those deep relationships, so we only have few people that we can concentrate on and be focused on. So I think having a relationship strategy is also very important to identify those people you want to have a deep relationship to instead of everybody. That's a very uh, basic strategy for developing or building relationship with others. So still set a realistic expectations instead of a realistic one.
Yes, I agree. I mean, if I joined a networking group and it had 50 members, of course I want to have a meeting with all of the 50, and it would be a relationship building meeting. Do I feel that you're a good person? Do I feel you're authentic? Do I feel your values? Do I feel that if I introduced you to somebody, that you would represent my reputation? Because I think that's often not thought about. People receive a referral, and I think they don't often think that somebody else has risked their reputation by giving the referral. Without losing time on this call, I have an example like this happening to me at this very, very moment. Someone from Australia has contacted me
Mm-hmm,
asking if I know somebody,
mm-hmm.
and 3 times I've left messages for this person, and he's contacted me back and said, I'll call you tomorrow. And then he didn't. And I've got someone in Australia waiting for me to introduce somebody. And I'm now thinking, well, can I even introduce this person? Because this is my reputation.
Yes, exactly.
So I think people, need to understand the reality of networking and life.
Yeah, it's all about life strategy.
I think
Every
so.
relationship, not only in business but life relationship,
I
all
think so.
all uh applies to these rules.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Listen, Sarah, I've been with my wife for nearly 50 years next year. So believe
Mm,
me, I understand. I understand about, developing relationships, building relationships, managing expectations. You have to compromise in life. You have to be realistic in life. You have to communicate. Um, you know, and I think life is all about how quickly you accept these things and you learn these things.
yes, thank you for the marriage expert.
No, I never said I was a marriage expert. That's to clarify. But
But
yeah, it's true.
you have more experience than us, so you
Yeah,
have uh you are the person that who can share the experience to us.
absolutely. Yep, I can definitely share my experiences. That's for sure.
Yeah, and in your book, you talk about givers, takers, and matchers. So,
Yeah.
can someone become a truly successful leader without being a giver?
Ooh. Ooh. Can they become a successful leader without being a giver? I think that would be, it's a great question. I think that would be an exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think we'd have to define the words successful leader. You see,
Oh,
it depends on the
mm,
definition of success, in my opinion,
mm,
because,
mm,
if we said, what's our opinion of a successful leader?
mm-hmm,
For me, a successful leader, depending in what context,
mm-hmm,
if they own a business,
mm,
and
mm.
they have, and I don't like the word staff, but for the benefit of the podcast, let's use the word staff. I used it before, but
Okay.
I always say I never had staff. I had people working with me.
Yeah,
So I
good.
didn't ever want to have this thought of your staff, I'm the boss. I didn't ever like the word, but let's
Yeah.
just use staff for the
Okay.
benefit of the context.
Sure.
So I think if someone is owning a business, which I've done, and I have staff,
Mm-hmm.
my definition, if I were to say I'm a successful leader, my definition of that would be we as a company, not just me,
Mm-hmm.
we as a company are achieving the things we want to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
and all of my team are happy to come and work with me, and they're achieving their personal goals because they're working in my business. For me, I think success is happiness, harmony. You could say that, am I a successful leader if our company are earning a lot of money, we're really successful financially, but all of my staff hate me. Okay? They hate me, but we are financially successful.
Mm,
Now, that leader, because they are a leader, but not in the style I would want to be.
mm-hmm.
So they might say, I'm a great leader. We're earning a lot of money. The staff are earning money. I don't care if they like me. And that's fine in that context. If you are the most senior person in the company, but you have investors in the company, again, you might be financially successful and your investors are receiving a good profit. So you might be a good leader for the investors. But for me,
Yeah.
that might not make you a good leader. So
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the definition of a leader because, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I don't want to know the definition of a leader.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want somebody else's definition. And
Mm.
even if there is an exact definition, I just use my own thoughts. So I think my definition of a leader, and the leader I would like to think I became,
Mm-hmm.
is someone that we had a successful flooring company. Our team, and that's what I called us, our team
Yes.
enjoyed working with us. They satisfied their own motivation. They earned good money. We had good fun. We would come to work with a positive attitude, wanting to achieve mutually agreed goals. And for me, I never had to drag anybody to do things. We all wanted to. We succeeded together. We failed together. And
Mm.
for me, that's my type of leader that I wanted to become.
Yes, actually, my perspective is the same as you. So
Wow.
that kind of the leader is also I want to be that instead of not being a giver, just want to be a taker. I think that's well, absolutely. I don't think that the person that I want to follow.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And I will say this, quite a bit of our book is very much about, yes, you've got to give, but the challenge a lot of the good givers have is they forget to receive.
Yes.
It's
Mm.
so easy to help other people, um, but I think it hides a little bit of confidence, or you hope that if you're just helping people, you hope they will just help you back in return. But that really is how the book began, because I woke up one morning and questioned the fact that I'm a giver, but why am I not receiving? In dark times, why are people not helping me? And one of my challenges was because I never asked for help and I couldn't show weakness. So even in my dark times, nobody knew I was having dark times. So although I was thinking, people aren't helping me, I didn't, people didn't know I needed help. And that's one of the challenges of good givers. We've got to learn to receive.
Yes, that is a very good reminder or lesson for all of us because for Taiwanese, as I said, the top five strengths one is harmony or empathy. So we empathize people more than empathize ourselves. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
so they forgot actually they of course providing help to others is very good, but we we all are people. We also need help as well, but we are so shy to ask for help, and that I think that is really a problem. And also, as a leader, because they have more responsibilities and they have more
yes,
obligations, more employees, staffs to uh to
yes,
count on them. So they are the person who needs to learn this more, not only be the uh volunteer giver, but also they need to learn how to have people help them as well. I think that's um the energy should be balanced instead of only one way.
yes. But it's a nice trait. It's actually the good people that fail with this, because it's not, for many people, it's not comfortable to almost say, "Can you help me, please?"
Yeah. Yes.
So our networking is a marathon, not a sprint book, is very much to help people recognize that I'm not receiving, but I now understand why I'm not receiving.
Yeah, the
And
reason
then
behind.
what, yeah, what do I need to do to make sure I receive?
Yeah, so I think I joined BNI just 9 months, but I think BNI is a very good networking place that we can speak out our wish list, very in just it's very normal. It's not very rare, so we can speak out our wish every week. So I think
Yes,
BNI has a good rule that train us to ask for help, ask for
yes,
what we need. I think that is very good education for all of us,
yes,
especially
I
for
think so.
business people.
I agree. I agree. And we have to learn to do that. We have to learn to, I often say to people, how can people help you if you don't know what you want?
Yes, that's
So it has
everybody's.
to begin.
Yes, that's everybody's pinpoint because when somebody asks what do you need, then everybody just
I'm not
say
sure, or
yeah,
someone who has a lot of money. Well, who's that? So, you have to make it simple, because
yeah,
by default, if you don't make it simple, then you're leaving it difficult. And if it's difficult, people have their own life. So
yeah.
the easier you make it for someone to introduce you, the easier they can introduce you.
Yes, absolutely. So just maybe say a name of the company. That will be much easier for a category.
Well, in a perfect world, if you wanted to go in that direction, really, I need to be able to say to you, Sarah, this is the ideal company and the name of the company that I would like an introduction to. In a perfect world, and if it's appropriate, this is the position or the name of the person that I would like to talk to. I'd also want to say to you, they need me because, so in other words, my value to them, I can help them with this.
Mm.
And then I need to teach you how to talk about me so that they can be excited to take my call. So this isn't just a simple, hey, I'd like an introduction to Sara and please introduce me. Because people think that's specific. That's nowhere near specific. It's the beginning of being specific.
Yes, and it's about skills that's or strategy we need to learn, and it's very helpful. Once you learn it, it's very helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you use this everywhere because even if I'm in front of a prospect myself,
Mm-hmm.
I can use exactly the same strategy. This is how I can help you. This is what I can do for your business.
Yes.
So we have to understand about us first, and then we can teach others to introduce us.
Yes. Teach others is a very important lesson for us.
Yes.
And as at least just said the rapid word that the AI continues to change the way we connect and relationship becomes even more valuable. So in today's AI world, what makes someone truly unforgettable in your opinion?
Well, first of all, to manage expectations, I'm not technology experienced and I am old school, and I know that technology makes things again quicker in many situations. It makes it more effective. But we touched on the feel, the touch, the visual, just the authenticity of the relationship. So for me, I still believe that you build relationships and you get people to know you first. Very, very important. And I don't believe, you can do that in writing or with technology. Of
Mm,
course, you can go onto Google or, I repeat, I'm not very good with technology. So, of course, you can go onto Google and research Phil Berg. Of course, you can go to my website, philberg.coach, and see what's on there. But that could be a beautiful website designer. Yeah. And even AI has made a decision of how it would describe Phil Berg. But neither of those two, you would hear Phil Berg. You would feel Phil Berg. You can't, I think you can't beat the touch, the feel, the sound. And I think that, AI obviously will hurt a lot of businesses. And it will hurt a lot of businesses because, there will be things we can do using AI that stops us needing a human being. So therefore, I'm sure some businesses, industries are very affected negatively. AI could be their downfall.
mm,
But I truly believe in sales, true sales, not product on the internet. Anyone can buy product, you know. Um, we've just had our windows replaced at home. How can I buy that on the internet? Yes, I can. I'm sure I can buy some windows and find a fitter.
hmm.
But the challenge with that is if something goes wrong, who do I speak to? The fitter
Yeah.
says the window company. The windows were online, so nobody answers the phone.
Mm.
So, of course, things can be done, but at what expense, at what cost? So, for me, I will never lose the personal touch, the feel. That for me is very, very important.
Yes, same here. I also think authenticity is the most important quality of the relationship. So no matter online, of course, I also believe that face to face or person to person touch is very important. But however, through technology, we can have the conversation online as well. So that's one of the benefits as well. Although we cannot have the real touch, but I think that's good. But I think the most important thing is that we share our thoughts authentic and in real talk and share to you is I think is the most important thing to have relationship with others because sometimes or most of the time people will uh, just say what's nice to them and but maybe that's not the real them but we all can learn or tell from other people's speak so I think
I think so.
yeah authenticity is so important, especially in this kind of world, because so much information and so much knowledge. And what we can tell from you to others is the feeling that we got. So,
I believe so. I believe so.
yeah,
And authenticity for me is huge. And I think people have to be aware of, connect that to reputation. So
yeah,
someone, I'm sure like your lovely self, I know some people that aren't particularly, they're not nice, the way they speak, their attitude. Now, they could say, well, I'm authentic. Well, yeah, you are, but
we don't think so.
you need to. Well, no, they are authentic. They
Oh,
are
really?
authentic.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's my belief of authenticity is that they are them. I'm Phil
Oh,
Berg. I'm Phil Berg, but I truly believe that I'm a good person.
uh-huh.
So I'm authentic, but you'll feel that I'm a good person. Now, someone else could be arrogant, a big mouth. Now, they are being authentic. It's their real self, but
uh,
they need to change their behavior. So just being authentic doesn't equal success. You
yes.
know,
Mm,
you have to be a good person. And if you're a good person and you have good intent, and then people feel that, you will be successful. If you are a bad person and you don't care and your attitude is, I don't care, well, you are authentic, but you're not going to achieve the success you want because your behavior is stopping you. So I think there's a very important part connected to reputation, and it's understanding how you allow people to think of you. Your behavior, I believe that your behavior creates your reputation.
yes, of course. So very good recommendation. Remind that authenticity need to plus good intent. Of course, we need to have good intent
Absolutely.
to be a good
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. If you're a good person and you're authentic, good people will recognize this. If you're a horrible person, you can still be authentic, but you won't be
You
successful.
yeah, you will attract people like you. So with maybe not good intent. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, lovely. I'd love to conclude with this reflection of this episode. Um, we talk about networking. It's not about just collecting the contact name cards or how many people you know, but it's about becoming someone people generally trust. So perhaps the quality of our relationship is simply a reflection of our life we are intentionally building. So in next episode, I love to uh, take this conversation one step deeper to explore Phil's life strategy equation. So this is not the end of this conversation, and it's really the just the beginning. So thank you, Phil, and see you in next episode.
Thank you, Sarah. It's been a real privilege and I've enjoyed chatting with you. We hope that your audience gets some little nuggets from what we both shared, and let's hope we continue to make a difference to who we speak to.
Yes, of course. So let's Looking forward to our next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
如果你正在带一个领导团队，或者你正在推动组织转型，我想邀请你思考一个问题：你的团队是否真正理解彼此的天赋结构与决策模式？很多组织的摩擦并不是策略错误，而是天赋错位。如果你希望让决策更清晰，让责任更明确，让团队真正形成互补，欢迎与我联系。领导升级，组织才会升级。